Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. Today we're working on our Gryffindor common room. So we've got a bit of rug space here and a huge area of empty studs over here. Now although Gryffindor gets 24 studs, it's not all for common room. Some of the end is going to be occupied by this clock tower piece, heavily redesigned from the hospital wing. We've got this bracket holding on the strange collection of plates on the end, and this is going to be holding up this defaced piece of the lenticular background from the Gryffindor house banner set. Now in my previous version you'll have seen me cut these down, and if you'd like to go and watch that video to see what I did, you can follow the card on the screen. And this is just going to sit behind this archway, resting on a 2x6 plate, and it's going to be held tight against the archway by that hanging collection of plates that you saw. And that gives us the lenticular stairwell background that leads into our archway. Just going to secure that onto the base. Got a couple of spaces there. That's where we're going to integrate our wall in. So we're going to start off by building the back wall. We actually need yet another stud of space for our back wall for Gryffindor. So I'm going to add that in here. Got a collection of plates and tiles because we're going to do something a little more interesting with our wall, just a plain brick build. So as we build up the wall, let's have a look at what we're going to put in at the end here. We're going to use a stack of these dark red bricks. They're just going to integrate with the clock tower, and they're going to form the start of our wall hangings, because Gryffindor common room has tapestries all over the wall, and we're going to be replicating that with some of these red bricks and what ends up being attached to these brackets here. You see the slope part in the wall? That's actually going to hold up one of our windows, and in a break from tradition I'm actually putting some stuff on the back. Now I don't usually do this, as you know, the backs mean nothing to me, they're up against the wall. But in this case, the back looked so horrendous that I thought I can't make a video with all these weird, odd bricks at the back. So I actually filled it out and made it look somewhat more palatable at the back. Obviously we've got these dark red bricks showing through, so not completely usable as an exterior. Got a couple more brackets to go on here. But it's better than it did look, believe me. So obviously one of those windows is a fake, only this one is visible from the inside. And it's got that steep lower ledge, just like the original movie set had. And these two red bricks are part of a heresy that you will see later. But we'll come to that when we come to it. Just building up the rest of our wall, popping on our window frame. Bridge across here. So window framed in, and that leaves us this space. Oh, I forgot one. There we go. So we're going to use this 6x6 plate here to fill this gap. And the reason we're using this knot design so that I can use these stickers. They've been variously accumulated from the Hogwarts magical trunk, and mostly from the Transfiguration classroom Hogwarts moments. Taken the stickers, cut them up, repositioned them, just to get this fairly busy, admittedly, dark red and bright yellowish orange background. And because we've used brackets and we've got a layer of plate and a layer of tile, they make the exact depth of one brick, and that will sit flush and give us a look similar to what we get on the original movie set. So we need another stud of space for the sidewall, because here we're going to add our fireplace. So again, just like in our previous version, this is going to be using a chopped up bit of that lenticular background from the Gryffindor house banner set. You can see me adding these 1x brackets into this wall build. Now these are here because we need a little bit of space for the lenticular backdrop to drop into. It can't go quite between two courses of bricks, so we just make this space using our brackets. The brackets are going to be holding on yet another panel of plate and tile. Roughly made brickwork looking, but not particularly, because this wall is butted up against other modules and you never see it. This is the only end we can see, and that's why we've had to use brackets all the way up so we don't get any weird voids and gaps. And that wall's going to sit flush against the module next door. Here's our fireplace, cut down to be the same size as a 6x4 plate, and that will drop into this sit wide 4 high gap and form our fireplace. Nicely flush with that plate that we put in. Now we can build up the rest of the fireplace as normal, using normal building techniques. I'm going to use just the same part we did in the previous incarnation, this 1x6 shallow arch, which matches the top of the fireplace print. That gives us our fireplace with Sirius's face coming and going. Obviously we need to transition back into a studs on top build here, so we're going to use this plate. We're going to secure it at various points just to bring our build back into normal alignment. Chimney breast goes in. Got a snot brick there. And just a bit of boring wall building while we fill in the back of this module. This one's going to integrate it into the fireplace, stop that wall brick wobbling about. And then we can integrate into the side wall as well. Just going to build up and pop our brick on. Again from the Hogwarts house banners. It's going to make our fireplace look a little more like the original movie set. Snot brick, which we'll use later. But for now, let's really secure this wall nicely. Anchor all those loose parts together with a nice long brick and fill into the top of our build height. As we've gone to the trouble of making this, even though it's not quite perfect, wouldn't make a good exterior really. Can't just leave it with bare studs on top, so we're going to put some of these Sangarine cheese wedges in 1x1 and 1x2 on the top, just to make it look a little more intentional. So here's what we're using for the studs, a Gryffindor shield, but it's going to be replaced by a Gryffindor portrait when I eventually get my hands on one. I'm just going to tile off the back of the roof to finish off our back wall. So we've got a very long arched brick assembly for the front of the build. Just show you how it's going to slot in here. We don't want it in there just yet because we need to fill up our interior with interesting stuff. First thing we're going to make in the corner here, just by the stair door, is a fairly plain cabinet. Using these snot bricks I got from the picker brick wall. Doesn't matter what colour they are because they're going to be completely hidden. Using these tiles to represent the doors, and then this double jumper on top. It gives a nice plain and simple cabinet. I'm going to pop this jumper plate in here. And it's going to attach just in the corner here. As you can see in the original set, there's a plain cabinet just next to the stairwell. Portrait again from the house banner set. There she is again in the set, just near to that cabinet. So let's move on to these heretical bricks in the wall. They're actually going to represent the back of a chair. I didn't want my chairs taking up too much space, and as you can see they're bracket built, so they're nice and narrow profiled. Once we get the base in, those red bricks just display as if they're the back of the chair. Not great. I'm sure there are people throwing shoes at the screen and all sorts. Just remembered my lamp. Need a bit of glow in the dark in there, and there is one on top of that cabinet in the set pictures, so why not put one up. Going back to the furniture, we're going to build our couch up. This one's a bit of an odd one. We're going to build it on this 6x4 plate, because it's also going to integrate a homework desk. Just adding these palisade bricks, they're going to support the homework desk portion of the build. Now the seating part of this sofa is quite low, just off the ground by a plate and tile layer. I did want the back of the sofa to be quite high because I really want to separate the sort of the cosy seating area from the sort of the homework and recreation area on the other side of the build. So using techniques we've seen elsewhere, using these rounded bricks with plate, tiled off on the top. As you can see, compared to the seating area, the back of this sofa is quite high looking. Got these two snot studs on the side, they're going to hold the arms of the sofa. Going to make those out of a 2x3 and a 1x2 plate. That's in the wrong place. Bring it down one, there we go. It's just going to form the arm of the chair. We're going to end up a little less than 7 studs wide on the sofa, and as 7 studs is the space we have to fill, that's going to work perfectly. Pop our homework desk on, just one of these round cornered 6x2s. A little more light, another chance for a glow in the dark piece, and that will finish off with some homework and an inkwell and quill. So the homework desk obviously isn't against the back of the sofa in the original movie set. It's out a bit more openly in the room. I wanted to conserve some space, not fill it up with loads of extraneous furniture because we've got minifigures to place in this area. Just going to pop that on those 2 jumper studs. And there we have our 2-seater sofa and our cursed armchair. And that's our cosy seating area by the fire. As we're adding Gryffindors, let's add some Gryffindor pets. We're going to make use of these studs on the carpet. Going to add in Crookshanks. Trevor. I've got a bright green one at the moment. When I get my boathouse, obviously I'll replace that for the nice new olive green one. Arnold the Pygmy Puff. And the proper Scabbers the Rat with the bald head. They can just lurk around the common room, variously trying to escape. Now this chair isn't just cursed, it's a little bit sexist, because when we try and put any minifigure with large hair, which is generally female ones in, they just pop out. So we're going to have to put a male or short haired or close haired figure into the seat. I'm going to use one of our Weasley twins for that purpose. Now it's usually Neville that's sitting here, but he's currently on display in Defensive Against the Dark Arts Boggart Snape display. Doesn't look too bad. Once the minifigure's in it, you can see that little flash of red behind the shoulder. And the Weasleys usually don't sit in the chair. As I said, it's usually Neville. They're out in this more open area causing a bit of mayhem. So we've got a fanged frisbee. And Jolene has just come down from getting changed upstairs. Ginny, of course, is starting to fill up the space quite nicely. Usually sitting at our homework desk we have Parvati. She's also in that Boggart Snape display. There's our other Weasley twin. And these aren't official minifigs, they're obviously mocked up in a couple of spare heads that I had in school uniforms, but Fred and George not being in school is missing out, I think. Minifigures we definitely should have had by now. And there's the front on. And that is going to complete our Gryffindor common room build. So there we go. That's our Gryffindor common room. Looking at the original set, most of the elements are in where they need to be. Obviously we don't have those 2 armchairs at the front. We don't want to fill the place with chairs. I actually put a picture up on my Instagram back in November when I was first building this to see the odd coloured parts. You can actually squeeze in with the furniture still in there 15 minifigs. So when it comes to the Gryffindor celebration party, we have to get plenty of figures into this build. If you've enjoyed this video, please do leave us a like, write a comment below, let us know what you think and your thoughts on the cursed chair. And if you'd like to see more Hogwarts interior MOC builds, then please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.